Katrine Ade. I finished INSEAD in July 2017. So I'm a 17J graduate. I'm currently in Ghana, and here in Ghana I consult. And I mostly consult with the public sector, that is government.
My name is Deji Adebusoye, and I currently work with Sile Capital, a private equity firm in Nigeria. I started my career in 2008 with Procter & Gamble in Nigeria, covering a region of markets in sub-Saharan Africa. And then afterwards, I went for my MBA at INSEAD.
Well, my name is Osen Iyahen. I'm an INSEAD grad from the class of 12J. And I'm the founder of a company called Optimal Greening. It is an environmental sustainability consulting company that I founded last year. So we're just a little over a year old now.
If I would say what INSEAD prepared me for, which I think is more general, is that it helped me to face the unknown. I think one of the things you get to is when you go to INSEAD, it prepares you for the unknown. You meet several people coming from different parts of the world. You go through a 1 year hectic, intense period of learning, bonding, socializing, interviewing, and everything just hits you on all sides, and yet you still stand on your 2 feet. And I think that was one of the things that has happened over the last 6 years post my INSEAD. Did I say 6 years? The last 8 years. Wow. Since my INSEAD experience. And it's been thrown into the unknown, things I've never done before. When I came into private equity, it was new for me. But here I am 5 years after. So I think one thing INSEAD prepared me for is the ability to go into the unknown and still be able to thrive.
It's been almost 10 years now since I graduated from the MBA program. And I think one of the things that the program did was basically give me the breadth in terms of, the management training, the leadership training, and all of the core, skills that we get when we go to an MBA program, everything from finance to marketing and strategy. All of those things, I think, prepared me very well for starting my own business.
The courses that we take in INSEAD, they are really rigorous in nature. I also found INSEAD to be very, very competitive. And this has shaped my way of thinking and doing, as I mentioned before. After graduating from INSEAD, I must confess, I am not afraid to take up anything that is competitive in nature. Basically, I am not afraid of competition because I am not afraid to lose. Whenever you come to INSEAD, the first thing they do is to put you in teams. So it's part of in fact, for the first 2 periods, during my time, and I don't know whether it's still the case, we were working in teams. And this is a very good thing because Africa is a very diverse continent and it is rich in culture. Even here in Ghana, we have different tribes. And so we are even diverse in Ghana to talk about like Nigeria, which has different sort of ethnic groups, talk about Tanzania, talk about South Africa, and even different countries. So for you to excel in Africa, it means that you need to be able to work with people from different backgrounds, different tribes, different ethnic groups, and like even different countries. And that was one of the exposure that INSEAD put us in. Because I must confess, when I was first put in my team, which I mentioned earlier on, made up of somebody from Canada, Portugal, Russia, India, US, and myself, beginning was very difficult, sort of managing the team because we are from different backgrounds, different places, different experience. How do we work together as a team? And that's the same thing in Africa. Africa is not a country, it's a continent. Different people, different tribes, different. And so if you really want to excel, then you need to know how to work with people from different backgrounds. So that was something that INSEAD actually did to prepare us to excel in this part of the world.
Africa is not, it's many countries, and it's a mix of many different cultures. It's a mix of many different perspectives, and it just creates different dynamics for doing business. And the continent is also in a growing stage where we are trying to catch up with a lot of things happening in the remaining part of the world. And as such, it's not business as usual. You need to be ready to face challenges, tough situations, and still be able to walk through them, stand through them, because the continent is awash with opportunities, right? So I would say that one thing that INSEAD helps you to excel in Africa is just your ability to face those tough situations and challenges and have a broad network of people that you can always fall back on. When I was going to INSEAD, I think the network we had then was still quite limited. Right now, you literally can turn around and find a lot of INSEAD alums everywhere that you can reach out to. Somebody's always willing to guide, direct, point you in the right direction. And you need that, honestly, to be successful in Africa. You need that network of people that know or understand different parts, and they can point you in the right direction. And I think I've experienced that quite a bit, and I see others also who have experienced that a lot, just being part of the INSEAD alum. I'll touch on two. The first is an innovative mindset. You need to be able to think outside of the box, because whatever it is that works wherever you're coming from, it's likely not to work here. So it's either you're finding a way to customize it, or you're finding a way to localize it, to the situation, to the environment. So you just need to be innovative. You need to be able to break barriers and then, think outside the box. And the second thing, which I think you need to have, and this is more from a soft skill part, is you need to be able to build relationships. The culture here just predates on your ability to build relationships. You need to be, it's cultural, and it's a mindset. If you're working from an environment where you don't need the relationships, things just work, you get things to move, then you struggle a bit here, because you want to stand in front of people, you want them to trust you, you want them to be able to recommend you to people, and as such, the relationship part is very vital. And I will say this again, at INSEAD, it's probably the only business school where it's an amalgamation of several cultures.
Africa is very unique. First of all, I think Africa is like huge. There's 54 countries in Africa, of which I'm based in Nigeria, which has over 200 ethnic groups, right? So it's very unique, and depending on where you are, things are unique. But I think there's some skills that are base skills that would be required across Africa, and maybe even applies to other continents as well. I would say from a soft skills standpoint, things like teamwork, which is crucial at INSEAD, because in your first 2 periods, you're working with a set of, in my case, it was 5 people on the team, and working very closely together. Communication, interpersonal skills are also very important. And I think critical thinking or problem solving skills are something that you need in this part of the world, because things often don't go the way that you would hope that they do. And so you have to be able to think quickly and think on your feet to be able to solve problems. From a hard skills standpoint, and specific to Africa, again, to your question, I would say probably 3 things come to my mind. One would be entrepreneurship, right? And I'm not saying that because I've just set up my business, but if you look at Africa, there are a lot of challenges, and with challenges come opportunities. And so it's no surprise that I believe last time I checked, a little over 20% of young people, or people of working age, I should say, in Africa are starting their own business, because there's a lot of people, and to a certain extent, not as many jobs, or not as many high-paid jobs. And so even people who are working full-time jobs sometimes have a side hustle where they are looking to earn extra income. So I think entrepreneurship skills, again, which INSEAD offers a lot of training around that, is one that would be useful in this part of the world. The second thing I would like to say maybe is finance, because if you have a lot of people who are running business, then they need to know about money, how to manage money, how money works. If you're going to run projects, how are you going to fund them? Where are you going to access the money? And then finally, I think another key piece or a key skill that is required in this part of the world is around technology and technology development and application development?
I believe Africa is the next big thing in terms of development, because when you look at the world, it seems like other parts of the world have actually gotten there or are already there. But there's a lot of work to do. It means that the continent is full of potential. This potential should be harnessed, and it needs to be done strategically so that we can get the optimal results. And that is where I believe INSEAD comes in, because INSEAD MBA is very intentional about its focus on strategy. When I was at INSEAD, I personally did a lot of strategy courses, including global strategy. And even now, it's core. Strategy is core. It's something that we need, because we don't need to just tap the potential, but we need to do it strategically so that we will maximize the results. So I guess coming to INSEAD and learning or imbibing yourself in strategy would help you to sort of excel here, because you will not do things as normal, but you do things such a way that optimal results are always achieved.
If the person has never worked in Africa and is just looking to coming to Africa to gain experience, I would say the first thing is speak to people. Just talk extensively to people. The last thing you want is to get a culture shock, or everything you think works in a particular way, you don't expect that you don't see them work in that particular way.
The first thing I would say is probably to reach out to alumni. I think INSEAD has done a good job of churning out quite a number of Africans, and so there's a pool of resources that someone who might be considering or is already going through the program can tap into. Because a lot of times it's not just, I'm looking for a job. It's, let me understand what it is you're doing, right? So set up informational interviews, try to understand what people are doing, what people think is relevant, where they see the trends in Africa, and understand that and stay in touch, because you never know. The second thing I would say perhaps is to keep an open mind. I go back to my own experience and my own story when I was at INSEAD, and the fact that in my mind I knew I was going to go do strategy and marketing, and that was my focus, right? But here I am today, almost 10 years later, and I'm doing my own business, right? So I think it's important to keep an open mind and to not hurry up to say this is where I'm going or this is what I want to do, especially because we're now living in a world that is changing so quickly, and one really never knows how things play out. And so just be open-minded, take as many classes with breadth as possible, because you don't know where that will take you. And so don't go in with the closed mind and with the narrow focus.
Go for it. INSEAD MBA is worth it. It comes with a whole lot of package. And personally, I enjoyed INSEAD. The academics is rigorous in nature. Very competitive environment, because people who come to INSEAD are excellent students, and they come looking to excel as well. And so, they're always looking for things that will challenge them. And so they stop at nothing. And so with the competitive nature of the environment, it actually gives you an upper hand when you move out of INSEAD. It means you're already sort of ahead of the average in the world.